Water bears are microscopic creatures that can survive in the vacuum of space. And bananas are one of the most radioactive fruits due to their high potassium content. You may ask yourself why the fuck this is important for knowledge, but let me explain. So first of all, I would categorize knowledge into three different areas. The first one being known, so the things that you know. The second one is known unknown, so the things that you know that you don't know. For example, you might know that you don't know how to cook a certain dish. And I would also add things you know subconsciously but can't actively recall. For example, let's say you've been told why TikTok is not really good for you. And when you're talking with another person or a group of people about TikTok and its effects, you can't actively recall that fact that you heard. You're just listening to the conversation. And then once someone else says the fact that you were already told, then you go, oh, right, I heard that too. And so basically, that's why I would also kind of categorize this into the known unknown, but it's also kind of in between of those two categories. So let me just know what you think in the comments. And the last category is the unknown unknown. So basically, those things are not even a thing in your mind. You don't even know they exist. For example, for most normal people, they don't even know self-improvement exists. For some people, it's the different types of business models. They just think, I don't know, a business is a business, they don't know that they are different types of business models. And for others, it's actually the realization that not everything in school books is true. I mean, just look at how much the school books have changed in the last 100 years. And look at how different, for example, history school books are and were, depending on which country you go to school to. So you should learn something new every single day. And I actually have some cool quotes that I found for this topic. The first one is, once you stop learning, you start dying. And the second one is, for the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. And the most common method for this is reading books. Or smart books, as one of my friends told me. Actually, that's a really funny side note, because I was talking with a friend of mine. I asked her if she reads some books. And she said, yeah, I read love and crime stories, all that shit. And, well, she asked me, of course, too. And I answered, I like reading books that give me actual usable knowledge. So for example, storytelling, influencing people's behaviors, books about thinking, changing, also philosophy. And her reply to that was just like, oh, smart books, that's cool. And I just found that kind of funny, so yeah. Anyways, books basically have the ability to transform your unknown unknowns into known unknowns or even into knowns. And obviously also they can transform your known unknowns into knowns. Also, if you can't or don't want to spend much money on books, you can also look for PDFs of them online. Also, you know how rich people usually say you already have everything you need. I actually always thought, yeah, it's of course easy for you to say, but they actually are right. You already have everything that you need. Because if you're watching this video, then you have a device, a phone probably, or a PC, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you have Wi-Fi connection. That's literally all you need. Because devices are such a great tool for people. But now the roles are reversed. So basically the people are now the tools being used to make profits. So my point is that you should expand your unknown unknowns. There's also this one picture, I'm gonna put it right here, where you can clearly see, it's just like, the iceberg meme, where the tip of the iceberg is what you know, the part that's still above the surface is the known unknown, and basically everything under the surface is the unknown unknown, because our knowledge is so limited. We think we know actually really much, but there's so many things that are not even a concept in your mind. And that's the same for this picture, as you can see. My point is basically that you should expand your unknown unknowns. And it's easier than ever because of things like AI. Actually, do you remember those 2 facts I told you about in the beginning? Yeah, I got those 2 facts by saying to ChatGPT, tell me 5 things I do not know, or I might not know. And that's how this whole thought process started. That's how I got the idea for this video. Actually, also one of those 5 things was a really cool one, just on a side note again. Basically, it said that flames, in microgravity, flames take on a spherical shape because the hot air does not rise. So basically, the flames expand in all directions equally, and that's why it takes on the shape of a sphere. And that's actually I think it's really cool, you know? So why don't you ask ChatGPT for some random facts from time to time and expand your knowledge? Take action.